Hello out there.
We're
on the air. Welcome back to the Kingdom. Another episode of the Kingdom. Another live one. There's Reggie. Hey, Reggie.
Hey.
We'd like to welcome our guests across this beautiful country of ours, Manitoba, Sask, Alberta, BC, all the way up to Newfoundland. And whoever else might be watching out there. You never know. We got lots of golf chat to catch up on. It was the best weekend of the year and a lot of storylines, actually. So let's get to her, fellas. We'll see you in exactly 30 seconds.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Kingdom. As always, my name is Drums, and I'm joined by the brothers behind King Golf, Regan and Jordan Headley. We always do it this time of the night. We send it up north, see what's happening with our boy Reg. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. Just cleaned up some cat yak as we were getting ready for the show. One of the cats made a Mr. Beefy like possessed sound, and knew it wasn't good, but all things are good. Heading into Winnipeg tomorrow, actually. Got an extended season tournament. We started this last weekend, our first tournament, and we got another one in Winnipeg. So I'm taking my clubs with me.
Nice.
Very worst case, I'm going to go hit some balls. Best case, I think I'm going to try to sneak out to play Lorette for 9 or 18.
Beauty.
To be determined by the weather, really.
I haven't even looked at the forecast, but I heard today that we're expecting snow.
It's snowing here right now.
Are you serious?
Obviously. Why wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And I thought we missed it.
Why not, eh?
Well, you might have. Rossburn gets hit by every possible ounce of snow that touches Canada, so...
I'm going to guess you guys aren't paying your carbon tax. So that's probably why.
It says
would
it's
be
supposed
correct.
to snow
Well,
overnight here. Oh my
we pay
God.
carbon tax in every aspect of life now because, Whoa, look at this. Murph's dad is back in the house.
All right.
What?
After a long hiatus, Murph's dad is
Wow.
back.
The cat came back, you could say. For everybody listening and can't see the picture, Murph's profile picture on YouTube is 2 cats. And he is back. Welcome back, Murph. Murph's dad.
Reggie,
Welcome
what's
back.
happening with the courses up there? We got any open? What's the deal?
I don't think so.
yet.
Dolphin might be open soon. I think Gilbert's kind of he got hit by a flood, so things aren't great out there. I don't think right now. Easton's at the AGM right now. She's on the board, so I'll have more info when she gets back tonight.
A little inside info. Love it. Jor, besides the snow, what else is happening out there in Rossburn?
Murph's dad was also the winner of the Aaron Cockrell head cover set we gave away a couple of years ago.
Right.
I forget what the contest was even for, but that was a big prize.
That might
you
have
know
been
what
one
it
of
was
our
for?
first giveaways ever.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you had to listen to like a lot of different episodes in order to qualify for that one. So that was a big one. That was probably our biggest contest of all time. The coat, you might say. Speaking of coats, look who's in the house tonight. We got Drake.
Drizzy.
And the reason I bring up coats is because we got something in the mix right now. It's going to tie into the King Golf Highway, which I'll speak of in a little bit. It's pretty exciting. But Drake happened to pick up a orange jacket this afternoon from Value Village. Orange jacket. And if you think the green jacket was nice, wait till you see this thing.
Ooh.
And so we got some plans for what we're going to do with it. But in the meantime, we'll just leave it there. Oh, Drake's in the city as well. There you go. You might have a partner to play with.
Hello.
Lorette, or check out
Yeah.
maybe I don't think Pine Ridge is
open
yet.
No.
So there you have it. Other than that, not much going on out here. It's pretty busy right now in my life, pretty crazy. The way I've kind of structured my life is that I have King Golf and I have the Bitcoin stuff. And for the most part, they don't overlap too much. Golf's busy in the summer, Bitcoin's busy in the fall and right after Christmas. But during this time of year, they overlap. And so I got lots going on in both worlds, and I'm just trying to keep my head above water right now. And there's a few other things out of my control that happen. So bit of a struggle bus right now, but we're getting stuff done. We're moving. We got lots of momentum on our side, so that's good. Anything else to catch up on? I didn't do much other than the Masters on the weekend. It was a great weekend of golf, great weekend just to hang out. And I just love weekends like that. I think that they're pretty underrated in life. Did I cut out or something?
Sorry, I think it's freezing on my end. If it's freezing on my end, so I'm laying back a little bit.
I thought we were having a contest to see who could, how long we could.
I put myself on mute just because Hank's going nuts.
Reg was on mute.
And then you finished talking, and that drum's just sitting there. We haven't had two things. We haven't had internet issues for a while, and we haven't had the awkward pause for a lot of episodes. But that was the first one for a while. So welcome back.
Yeah, the internet's been a lot better here. But
and we are back.
Yeah, remember that one episode? This was not very long ago where our whole feed cut out. All three of us went off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said something about Trudeau before that or something like that, so it cut out.
Anyways, Drummy, what's happening in the Wheat City? Some golf courses open.
No, exactly up there, yeah, it seems everybody's pretty well ready to rock here. I have yet to get out, yet to swing a club, really. When the household was sick 2 weeks ago, I guess it was already now, I made the mistake of thinking I could cough still. And apparently when you get to my age, you can't cough anymore. And I blew out my back for like 2 weeks. I could barely like bend over and shit. Yeah.
You should know better.
But we're just starting to get back to moving a bit normal here. So got to get back on the stretch routine so I can actually swing a club this year. But no, Joe, like you said, just an unreal weekend. Amazing weather, so got to spend a lot of time outside. Kid goes absolutely crazy. Hasn't been inside since the snow's melted, so got to spend some time outside with him. Watch a ton of golf. Unreal sports weekend, really. NHL kind of closing up, so the unreal games all weekend. Massive UFC card. And then on top of that, just the biggest rap beef in history dropped last week, so I've been glued to Twitter for that. It was a busy-ass weekend. The whole rap industry is going against Drake right now, so it's quite entertaining.
What's the reasoning for it?
4 or 5 songs. Actually, a whole album was released dissing Drake, and so everybody's going back and forth with them. But it's pretty entertaining from my standpoint.
I didn't even hear about it. I'm out of the loop, some might say. Okay, well, let's it was a great weekend of sports. Let's give a shout out to Zap.stream. What else was I going to say? Oh, the UFC fighter, he asked for his bonus $300K to be paid in Bitcoin. I enjoyed that. Did you guys catch that?
Was that Max?
I forget his name.
With the crazy KO? Last second.
I don't know. I didn't watch.
Unreal. One of the best KOs in UFC history.
Really?
Right at the very end of the round 5. Went right to the center. One guy was like, right here, let's go. Stand here and we're just going to bang. And they did. And with the last second, caught Max Holloway catches Justin Gaethje with a beauty hook and drops him. Ended. 1 second left. Unreal.
That is sick. I'm not a huge UFC guy myself. Not that I don't like it. I just never. I don't have TV, so never mind PPV. Roscoe's in the house. He says Macchiano. That's who I'm guessing. After your description there, I'm thinking he means that's the guy who requested his bonus to be paid in Bitcoin.
Love it.
Pretty interesting. You know, you you see all these UFC fighters that take a lot of blows to the head, but some of this guy was talking about monetary policy and what else? Just the fiat dollar. He was talking about that in his winning speech, like after the fight. So we've seen people take shots at Trudeau. We've seen people take shots at Biden. The UFC, I would say I'm a big fan of the UFC fighters themselves in terms of their views in the world.
I think it probably starts with Dana being who
probably.
Dana is, and knowing that your product solely relies on who that product is.
Yeah.
So he does a good job of just allowing the people to be the people, good or bad, whatever way they go.
Right.
He doesn't step in.
Yeah, that's true.
Until shit gets absolutely crazy and he has to like release somebody from the organization. But he gives people a lot of rope. He gives himself a lot of rope. Like it looks like a pretty upstanding organization to work for. Like during COVID, he made sure that not one person got laid off. That meant he had to go do cards in Dubai to make sure that they could pay employees and shit. Like,
remember Fight Island?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That was legendary.
Nuts.
I've loved Dana White ever since that moment. But yeah, I know what you're saying, because like most professional leagues, I feel like, I mean, PGA would be on one side of the scale, UFC would be on the other side of the scale in terms of like how controlled their product or their players are, fighters are. So, you know, I mean, if every league had a what is he, the commissioner?
Well, he's like, yeah, I don't know what his actual title is.
But if every league had a commissioner or owner like Dana White, I feel like we'd have a lot more of those similar views come out. But I feel like a lot of the players are fairly muzzled in terms of what they can and can't say. Sachi, our Manitoba friend, golf season was among us. It's definitely not in Rossman Lake right now. It is snowing. But yes, I've been taking walks every day, obviously, with the new pup. And the snow sure melted fast here. We went from the whole course was covered on, let's say, Tuesday to Friday. The entire course was snowless, other than like the tree areas where it's shady. But big week in terms of the melt update there. So this was stuff won't stick around. Looks like it's melting kind of as soon as it hits the ground here. So we're close. We're very close.
We're inching our way.
We're inching. So let's start off with some cheers tonight, fellas. And I had a bunch of them on here, and maybe we should just zip through them without going too far into them. So every show we do a cheers, talking about wherever we're at, professional athletes, someone local, somebody doing good in the world, where you raise a glass to. So this week we actually have 4, and I'll just buzz through them here quickly. 5 of them. Okay. So I'll buzz through the first 4. Reggie will round it out, and then we'll cheers. So the first one's for Tiger Woods. I mean, we had some money on the line for T-Dubs. We'll talk about that later on probably. But what was it, 24th consecutive cut in a row? I guess you don't say consecutive and in a row at the same time. 24th consecutive cut, setting a new record, as if Tiger didn't have enough records on his resume. But very impressive nonetheless. Like on Friday, the guy played, I think, 23 holes of golf. The whole season leading up to that, I think he played 22 holes. So it was good to see. The guy's a fighter. He had a tough weekend, obviously, but 24 consecutive cuts at the Masters is pretty good.
Yeah, that's absolutely wild.
Second one here, Scottie, and I'm going to touch on this later on, but we named this show after Scottie Scheffler. This is the Scottie Scheffler era. Incredible golf from Scottie on the weekend. Fun to watch, but we'll get into it because I have some things to say on that too. And the third cheers here is for Roscoe, for Shanks. Had the opportunity to check out Shanks last week when I was in Brandon. Got the full tour, the VIP tour from Roscoe there. What a facility that place is. Holy.
Looks sick.
You think you have things in your head. I thought it was on the opposite side of the highway. I didn't even find the place when I drove by it. But you have these visuals in your head about what things look like. And this like totally blew my mind in terms of what I had in mind versus what it was. Just an incredible place. I think it's going to be an attraction for every person in Manitoba, Saskatchewan. It's going to bring a lot of people into the city, and I know that he's going to do very well with that place. So very, very well branded. I was telling him that the entire time we were walking through it. I just love the design in there, the branding, the red, the black. I think this will just be Shanks 001. I think that there'll be more to come from Roscoe. That's just my prediction. And the fourth one, Cove Golf. We tweeted about this, or not tweeted, but posted about this on Instagram yesterday. I think they're the most underrated golf company in Canada. Cove Golf, COVE. Check them out. They're from British Columbia. We'll probably order some ball markers. They make some really cool ball markers there, but their putters are just like unbelievable. Ooh. So go check out Cove Golf and check out Shanks too. Obviously, I'm sure most people who watch the show are already following Shanks, but if you're not, make sure to do that. And Cove Golf, give them a follow on Instagram and leave a comment saying that King Golf sent you there. So that's my cheers for tonight. Reggie?
No, last but not least, we'd be idiots if we didn't give a cheers to AC today on his birthday.
What's his birthday?
Well, we have the show on his birthday, so cheers to all five. Like you said about Shanks, looks absolutely phenomenal from your videos. Ross has got him and sending little teasers on his Snapchat, and yeah, things look unreal there. I can't wait to get there. It's coming soon, and it looks incredible. But cheers to the full list.
Cheers, boys. So AC lives over there now. What? Or Chelsea moved over there now too.
What a place there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything on here until he made it official. But yeah, they bought it, I think, like a month and a half ago or 2 months ago.
That's got to be like a relief almost.
Oh yeah, family over there
Having
now.
That is your central location.
Home base. Yeah, totally.
Till what's happening right now happens.
Yeah, that's
holy
absolutely
hell.
crazy.
It's like the water,
like 6 feet of water.
Everything's flooding. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I also saw that it was like manufactured.
Well, they're saying it's caused by like their weather planes.
Oh, maybe I saw something else.
Well, but like manufactured in that they have weather planes that makes it rain for them whenever they want.
Yeah.
So they're saying like that's part of it, is like them fucking with the system has fucked the system up.
Well, the one thing that I believe to be true with anything, this is like the core principle in life, is that you don't fuck with nature.
Fuck around and find out.
So anyways, one more thing back to Roscoe here. I was hitting balls inside the simulator. I think there's 4 bays there. And I was hitting balls. And so you hit a ball. It's pretty much instantaneous. Great screen, big screen. And then it shows you a little video right after of your swing. Did you guys see that on Instagram?
No, I don't think I did.
Shows a little video of your like facing you. And then it tees up another ball for you. Like it comes from the ground. So I was like, I feel like a millionaire here. That's legit what it feels like when you're hitting balls in there. You feel like you're a millionaire. Like that's what you put in your basement if you like had a bunch of money. That exact setup. So pretty cool. So what else we got here, fellies? Oh, let's talk about the King Golf Highway Tour. This has been in the works for a little while, but very exciting. Very exciting stuff here. We finalized some information this week today, actually, me and Drake, with some advice from Reggie. But here's the plan for the weekend, or for the year. I mean, so it's called the King Golf Highway. Very original there. King Golf Highway Tour. So what we're gonna do is we got 7 courses. You get a membership. Essentially like you'd get a membership at your home course, but except you get 7 courses on this. You get 1 round at each, 18 holes plus a cart for $199. And we're going to do like, we're going to track scores throughout the summer. We're going to post like a leaderboard, and we're going to do a Ryder Cup at the end of the year in September at I'm thinking Deloraine. It's not 100% confirmed yet, but that's where I want to do it because Della was phenomenal last fall when me and Reggie were out there. So I think that'd be a really good location for a Ryder Cup. Probably what we'll do is like rent a bus from Brandon, bus out there, bring the boys back so everybody can have some beers, do a full day out there. But throughout the summer, you're going to be traveling to as many of these courses as you can, 7 courses. You need a minimum of 4 rounds, I think, to qualify for it. And then we do like rankings. So you'll enter your scores. We'll have leaderboards every month on King Golf, Golf Highway, like the top 10. And then we'll have like rankings. Then we'll have 2 captains at the end of the year, and we'll choose teams and play Delo. And it'll just be a really fun way to kind of get a group of guys together throughout the summer, track it all, play some new courses. And the courses are Minnedosa, celebrating their 100th year this year, 100th anniversary. Neepawa, just up the number 16 highway. We got Scottswood on there. We got Lorette. We got Deloraine. We got Oak Island. And I'm missing one. Never try to do this live. Who am I missing here? Drake? Okay, let me run through it again. Oak Island.
Did you say Winkler? Sorry, I was on mute.
Winkler, that's what it was. Yeah. Winkler's a wild card there. That's the one I'm looking forward to. I've never played Lorette. I've never played Winkler. So it'll be, you get 7 rounds, $199, and you get to be part of the tour, the King Golf Highway Tour. And there's only 30 spots available. And we have 5 of them sold already. So we wanted to share it with the podcast crew first. We always share things first on the podcast. We're going to announce this on Instagram on Saturday. And I'm thinking we'll probably be sold out by Saturday night. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, I mean, the value there is probably, I think me and Drake calculated to be about $420, $430. You get it for $199. And I think it'll be a really cool way just to see some new courses, have something to play for, and just follow along the whole summer. So if you're listening to this either live or afterwards, and you want to be part of the King Golf Highway Tour, you know how to find us. Instagram, email, anyway. So pretty exciting stuff. Finally got all the pieces together. We're actually only going to do 4 courses. We emailed 7 courses, I think. Every course said yes. And so we adjusted our plans to be all 7 courses. So
beauty.
Pretty cool stuff. Drummies.
Yo.
Let's start the segment with what's going on around the greens. And Drake, while we do this, if I missed anything there, just throw it in the chat because it's always hard to do things on live. So what's going on around the greens? Where do you want to start tonight?
I don't really have much for typical around the greens. It's just some master stuff that we should talk on. But I do have one. This one's pretty wild. Yesterday, a former Augusta employee was charged with stealing millions of dollars worth of tournament memorabilia through the span of between 2009 and 2022. The gentleman worked for Augusta National, and during that time, somehow managed to steal multiple millions of dollars worth of merchandise.
Oh shit.
And as he took it from Augusta to Tampa, it crossed state lines. So that's like another federal charge that was added on top of the millions of dollars of merchandise that he stole. So this boy's going away for quite some time. They haven't really said an official number of how much he stole or what happened to the stolen goods, but I imagine somebody has them from an eBay store that they'll never be claimed again. But this guy's paying the price for them. Absolutely crazy.
That is nuts. I was going to say, how do you steal $1 million worth in a weekend? But I guess it makes sense over a 12 or 13-year period.
Still, does it?
It's nuts.
Yeah, like just think about that. You're working like at the Masters at Augusta. Think how many people are around. Like I would be shitting my pants even just like to sneak a ball in my pocket or something like that. Like you'd have to imagine there's so many eyes around there. It'd be interesting to see what kind of like security they have there in terms of like cameras and stuff though. I feel like they're very old school.
Yeah, and you hear people talking like if you pull out your phone, somebody's right there. Like you don't know where this guy came from. All of a sudden he's right in front of you telling you to put it away. Doesn't matter how many times you try, a different person comes and tells you to put your phone away. Like they said, it's just like the weirdest thing. So,
Thing is, you
I
think it'd
mean,
be like one of the last places in the world where like people are completely trustworthy and like there for the right cause, and like you get into Augusta and it's like such an
Yeah.
honor to be there, and you put your phone away and you like obey all the rules there, and you like it's got to be like one of the last places on planet Earth where it's like that.
Agreed.
So they probably don't feel the need to have like that crazy of a security system because
maybe.
like if you're at the Masters, you're probably not going to be stealing a hat or a shirt from the store, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there
Yeah,
has
like
to
how
be
do
some
you?
sort of inside stuff happening here because he's not just
Well, I
working
mean,
behind the till.
right, but if he worked in like the back room or the storage room or something like
Mhm.
that, and was just shuffling this shit out at night, like
Had
there's
to have been
different
that,
scenarios, but
like the restock guy.
like balls on him, balls.
No doubt.
But what I'm saying, like during the day, it's not like it's like your local sporting goods store where stuff's getting stolen from all the time. Like people
Yeah.
aren't stealing from Augusta.
And like, remember last year we talked, our boy Joe Pomp had a tweet out of like the merchandise tent at the Masters and how much goes through there during
Yeah.
the tournament. Like,
Mhm.
absolutely nuts.
Crazy. But how would you steal multi-millions of dollars worth of stuff? Like what would I'd be interested in what they were stealing to add up
Yeah,
to
so
that much.
I seen another thing online today where it was comparing like a price of something if you bought it in the store and what it's selling for on eBay, and it was like
Oh.
a 4-pack of those plastic drink cups. They're free with your drink, and they go for $25 for a 4-pack. And then
Oh,
it's
so
like
he made multi-millions selling it.
no, I think he still sold it. Yeah, I think that's what it actually is, but he must have at least stole at least like $1 million worth of merchandise.
Yeah.
What he made on that, who
Yeah.
knows? Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
mean, this guy
crazy.
he probably wasn't taking just a shirt here and there. Like he was probably taking like boxes at a time.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And if you think about how much would be going through there, like for them to just like, you're not going to miss one box of stuff. You know,
Mhm.
if it's King Golf, Glow Golf at Rossman Lake, I'm probably going to miss a box of gear being gone if Drummy stole it. But like at the Masters, like there's got to be hundreds of thousands of boxes that they go through there. So just take a couple boxes, and I mean, you open one of those up, and that's probably $100,000 per box, pretty much.
But if
Right.
he for $150, like say at $150 a shirt, for $1 million is 6,666 shirts.
Just insane.
Heavy.
Heavy.
So does that mean the devil was stealing it if it's all those sixes?
No, that 7 negates that.
Okay.
Before we get into current players, 3-leg Greg had to purchase his own ticket. Do you guys take it as he was like, was he raised in a stink about him having to pay his way?
From what I understood of it is he actually bought his own ticket and they still wouldn't let him in.
No, he was there.
Oh, I thought he got denied.
I don't think he tried to actually do it for the like while the tournament was on, but I know he was there for practice rounds and stuff. But he made like a stink that he wasn't given a ticket. He had to purchase one. But so my question is, if you're not a champion, does everybody who's ever played in a Masters receive free tickets? Because if not, then he has no leg to stand on other than his cock. But I don't understand the pouting about it then.
Yeah, it's just more live PGA bullshit drama.
I could get into like live conspiracies, and maybe we'll touch on it once we get further down here. But next one, Bryson being Bryson. Basically, all you have to say covers every bit of shenanigans that gentleman displayed. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of missed his awkward, weird shenanigans. That's all I'm gonna label it as. It's just a shenanigans. He's got 3D printed clubs that he made himself or whatever the hell he's doing that got approved the week before for him to play. Like just
Phenomenal.
crazy.
That's such a phenomenal story.
And then he goes out and plays the way he does with these 3D printed clubs. Then he's ripping out signs barehanded. Like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
I'm with you,
It's
Drums.
just Bryson being Bryson.
Yeah. I mean, before he went to live, we used to talk about Bryson all the time on the show. And I've been saying for a while, that guy has grown on me quite a bit. He went through like his Hulk phase. He lost his old beanie that he had there, old golf hat. He seems like a new guy almost, without like all the bullshit that came along with him. But he's still just like I don't know. I'm a Bryson fan, and I'm probably take some shit for that, but whatever. He's entertaining to watch. You never really know what you're going to get from him. And he just seems like, I don't know. He's never done anything that really pissed me off. I mean, he's kind of nerdy. He's kind of weird, but like, I feel like he's just a fun loving guy. That's just my opinion on him.
Yeah. I don't like him, but I mean, that's all right. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah.
No, same as you, Jor. I think he's grown on me a little bit. Probably the break that we get from him amplifies that a bit. But I like you, entertaining, whatever you call him, weird, whatever it is. This guy's ripping signs at Augusta National out with his hands. What are you thinking?
Why did he do that? I saw the pictures and video of it, but why did he do that?
He thought it was in his way?
I think that's what happened.
He was carrying over his shoulder.
Like just standing with it over his shoulder, talking to the official. Like nuts.
Phenomenal.
On to another fan favorite, Zach Johnson. What is I don't know if he was ever anybody's favorite golfer.
No, he never was.
I think
the
he's always
turnaround and the hatred
he's always been my least favorite.
Has turned on this man. Like, but did you hate him before the past year?
He wasn't.
He's forever been my least favorite golfer ever.
I knew he was always douchey. He was never like somebody I'd cheer for, but I never had like a hatred on for him.
There was this Tiger used to bully him at the Ryder Cup. That's when I knew I was on Team Tiger.
Really? I don't remember that.
Oh, he did some bad stuff. I can't say. I mean, obviously it's all stories too, but did you guys never hear any of those stories about those
I don't know. I might have.
Ryder Cup?
Not that I can remember.
ZJ was just completely irrelevant before he was the captain of Team USA. Like nobody liked him, but like nobody hated him because he just was completely irrelevant.
I hated him.
Well, you teased this Tiger shit. You got to say it now.
No, but so he was like super, super, super Christian or whatever, and they were on the Ryder Cup team together. Apparently, like Tiger, like locked him in a room and put porn on the TV and like locked the porn on the TV and made him watch porn, and like a whole bunch of other stuff at the same Ryder Cup. Yeah.
Was it Tiger in the porn?
No, it's just because they're not allowed to watch it. They're not supposed to watch it. So he locked him in a room and did that to him.
That'd be the ultimate move. Tie somebody in a room and make them watch a porno of you.
of yourself.
You and a couple Perkins waitresses.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, he's always been my least favorite. So now that this stuff's all happening, it's like,
but if he's that Christian and that goes against his beliefs, is cussing at kids and patrons A-okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, he also denied that too. That was kind of a weird play.
That was like the whole interview was so weird.
Yeah.
Because he denied it. And then he goes, but if you have video, I guess I can't deny it.
That he said it. He just said it wasn't directed at the patrons, though. He said it was directed to himself.
So then I saw like a tweet of a guy that was like, yeah, I was there while this was happening. Everybody was motherfucking him on the tee. And he was given a couple stray eyes. And then it proceeded up the entire fairway from different patrons, like the entire way. And then obviously at the green, when he finally made the putt, like 1,000,000%, that's exactly what happened. Is he said, fuck you to the entire crowd.
Well, and the thing about that too is like, if this was the first time it happened, I'd be like, okay, maybe give him the benefit of the doubt. But like a couple months ago at the Waste Management, he got into an argument with a fan there.
Yeah. I get the Waste Management one.
He's just a loser.
Wild. But
yeah. I mean, he had it coming to him. He had it coming to him.
Oh, for sure. And big deal.
Yeah.
So they cheered against you.
Ches is right. Like, that's what they're chirping him for being such a shitty captain. And he was.
And that's what I guess that's what the guy said on the tee box of that hole was you're the worst captain in Ryder Cup history, and then so a bunch
But
of
he
fans
was.
started laughing. Facts are facts, man.
Mhm.
Tiger, do you think he slipped our boy a note there? Old Neil?
Okay, lots of weirdness happening with that fella. Neil,
Yeah.
what is going on with him? Like, why does he keep looking like this every
What were his
interview?
eyes doing when he was getting in the
Butler
Butler
cabin?
cabin? That
So I
was
saw
weird, man.
him. He was on Pat McAfee yesterday, and he was like, so when I got there, all the tournament officials were like, you do not speak unless you are spoken to. And he was like, I was in a room, there's 48 lights that are shining on me. There's people that I'm so nervous. I've never been to the Masters. He's like building everything up, right? And he's like, I'd never been on TV before. I had no idea what to do. I don't even know what that guy asked me. I looked at the guy to see if I could speak, and that's he's like,
No way.
he's like, now I look like the biggest retard in history.
Does he ever?
Yeah.
But he
That's
was doing
wild.
that in Butler cabin and in the actual interview.
So when he was talking about Butler cabin at that point, but in the interview when they talked to him about
About the note.
He was like, no, I looked at the guy to like for somebody to help me figure out what this guy was talking about, because this never happened. This interaction never happened the way that this guy's saying it did. So I don't know. Maybe there is a little note gate
for
there,
sure it
but
happened.
it's super weird.
Something was going on in that cabin. Like, that was very weird.
I think this
very
kid was
weird.
told, don't you ever say a word unless you're like, he was kind of like pee-pee whacked and said, you don't say anything unless you're spoken.
I don't know. I'm with Ches
I'm
here.
saying
Like,
with the note, I'm
It's
saying
so
it
weird.
happened for sure.
So weird.
But like,
But what a Sunday for that kid.
Yeah, no doubt.
Neil
Right?
was
Like, you get to play the final round with Tiger Woods, and like your high school best friend is slinging clubs for you. Just an
I love the handshake at the
unreal
end.
Sunday for them. And he
The
was
high
like,
school kid.
yeah, man, like that was the most relaxed I've been on a golf course. I had so much fun on a golf course. Unbelievable. I'm playing in the final round of the Masters. I should be shitting my pants,
Could
but I'm
you
with Tiger
imagine?
Woods, and he's made me so comfortable that I had fun.
So as much as like, I'm not going to go down any weird rabbit holes here, but like, as much as everybody fantasizes over the Masters and like how it's all done and how everything works there and how green it looks, the birds chirping, like there's some weird shit that happens at the Masters, like behind the scenes that nobody sees. And I think that, it's such an exclusive club in the world. And in order to get into an exclusive club like that, you have to do some strange shit. Right. So I don't know. There's just some weirdness there. And you see things like that, like the guy looking over like this. Like, why would you ever do that? I don't think that that's out of nerves, honestly. Like,
yeah, unless somebody's killing my family or they have my family hostage, I'm probably not looking at them in that situation.
Yeah. Like,
if he said he was looking for the go ahead to talk from the guy who told me he couldn't talk.
For sure. The Butler cabin portion, I'm completely on board with the Butler cabin portion, but the note gate side, I'm not sold by his explanation.
If Tiger hands me a note, I'm not telling anybody either.
For sure. But I'm not looking around like I'm burying a body at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something weird there. But what do you think Tiger would possibly give him a note for?
Unless Tiger gave him a tampon and he didn't want to go through this whole situation again. So Neil looked for the okay, can I talk about the tampon? And they said no.
That was one of the most underrated gestures in sports history when Tiger gave JT that tampon.
Yep. We were just at a time in society where you're not allowed to talk about tampons.
Dad in the chat says, must have told Rom not to smile or speak too. Yeah, they didn't even ask him a question, eh?
Oh, they hated him.
That's so awkward. I just don't like that at all. I don't.
No.
Why even ask him to come in there then? If you're like, that's the first time I've ever seen that in the Masters where they left somebody out like that.
And I thought it would be more like the TV side that was like pushing for the hate, but like you could see it at Augusta, like the course had no time for Rom.
Well,
I mean, if you,
Cam Smith was sitting in 5th place, and they didn't show one fucking shot of his the whole round.
And that's the
if you
TV
think
side of
about
things,
it,
I mean, too, right? Like, I understand that side, but Augusta National itself,
Yeah,
if
like
you
I'm with
if you
Drake
think
here
about it,
too. It's
all
just
the
like
biggest traditionalists though, like all the biggest golf traditionalists hate live. They hate everything about it. And Augusta is one of the most traditional places for
okay,
golf
but
that
I'm
there
saying
is.
understandable, but it now looks bad on Augusta.
agreed. No, it
I
does.
didn't
Like,
watch it, so I
how
don't
could
know.
you how could you argue that?
I didn't watch it, so I can't really comment on it.
The big concern on Twitter today was the TV ratings came out, and they're the lowest in like 20 years. Do you guys think this is a legitimate concern, or is it because that only calculates who was watching CBS? What I mean there is
Probably
how
not
many
the
people
ghost
are watching
box.
it on the Masters app, or if you have the TSN package, you can watch it on the TSN app. Those aren't calculated in, or if you're pirating. Pirating's a real thing that's just happening now. Like you have to
Yeah,
wrap it.
I'd go with that one. I don't know anybody who wasn't watching the Masters on Sunday.
Yeah, I don't. The same. Like I don't think for me the engagement didn't seem less than the
No,
years
and it's not like it was boring. Like nobody was up by 10 shots. Tiger Woods was in it. Like there were some real storylines and like some, it was like a lot of fun to watch. I don't think that that was actually the lowest watched Masters. I think it was just by CBS because people are canceling their cable.
But again, that
Mm-hmm.
means that you have to adjust.
Yeah.
You got to figure it
I
out.
mean, it's just a metric that we've always used that is no longer relevant anymore.
Yep.
Simple as that.
And so who published that, Drums? CBS?
Well, it's like the oversight organization that deals with TV ratings. But the numbers come from CBS. Who tuned into CBS while the tournament was on? Yeah.
It's
But I
gonna
mean, like
benefit
at work, like
advertising.
on Thursday, Friday, the majority of people are at work. You're not tuning into CBS. You're most likely watching it on the app or some
Yeah.
form of app streaming service. So that takes away
I watched it on TSN.
your viewing on that day.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
that's not different than anything in the past though. Before you
True.
just couldn't watch it if it wasn't available, right? I don't know.
Yeah, but you couldn't watch it instead of watching your TV, like your phone watch
Right.
instead of watching
Right.
your TV.
Right.
Not a concern. Not a concern.
No, I don't think so either. But it's a concern to them to how to figure out how they monetize it correctly, or figure out. I guess they got to figure out what the ratings gives them.
Yeah.
Obviously, it would be ad revenue, so they got to
Mhm.
figure out how they put that in with the streaming. Last one I got. What is your guys' sniffers telling you about Roars and Vic? What
I
do you
didn't
think?
see Vic was mentioned in there.
Yeah, I didn't either, honestly.
So here's my thoughts on it is like one, that would be the most insane thing that's ever happened in golf if Rory goes to live, without a doubt. But number two, every other time that there's been a live rumor, I don't remember too many that haven't been true.
Vic's been rumored to have
Yes, Vic has. That's right. That's right.
conversations. Drake says Rory said he's not going. Rombo also said he wasn't going.
Rumbo didn't say he wasn't going after it was brought up, though.
What did Rory say? He said, I'll retire playing the PGA Tour. It was kind of like something like that.
I thought he said he was going to play his whole career on the PGA Tour.
That's what Daniel says as well in the chat.
I don't think Rory's going. I really don't. I think that it was like a peak time when everybody was following golf Twitter. And if you put that out there, then it gets some traction, and then it goes from there. I like I said, Rahm didn't say anything after there was all the rumors. He just stayed quiet for 2 weeks, and then it got announced. And by that time, you kind of knew that the writing was on the wall and that he was gone. But for Rory to come out like a day after and say that, debunk the rumors and say like, no, I'm staying on the PGA, like, I don't think anybody's ever really done that before.
Fair. Now, conspiracy brain. Who put out these rumors?
I mean, it could be really anybody on Twitter.
I'm putting this in. Greg Norman's never been to the Masters in this capacity. He knew this was going to make noise. The fact that you could coincide like, okay, Rory's in talks. Greg was there this weekend. Rory had a not great showing. Like, people are trying to add all these up. So that's why I'm like, okay, Greg was there on a recruiting trip, like trying to put like these pieces to the puzzle together. But I lean more on your guys' side. I don't think Rory will.
I'm not on that side.
Just with Reg and the chat, I guess.
Oh.
Because I don't think he would ever. I think his reputation and that legacy is more valuable to him at this point.
Here's my theory. After watching the Netflix special, Rory was pissed.
He mad. Big mad.
Pissed at the PGA. And for good reason. I wouldn't hold it against Rory if he wanted to live. I wouldn't. They threw him out there. They held him up there as their guy and then completely went behind his back. If that's what's actually happened. And it seemed like he was very genuine, saying how pissed off he was. And I mean, what legacy does Rory have? I mean, like, he hasn't won a major in 10 years. Like, who was on the verge of winning their career Grand Slam this week? Rory. But somebody else too, who hasn't been around that long. Maybe not. Who am I thinking of? Anyways, it's just like you think of who?
Morikawa would have been his third.
Yes, that's who it was, Reggie. And I was like, okay, well, Colin Morikawa, much younger, much less known. But like, if he were to win that, he would be just in the exact same spot as Rory was after all this stuff over his whole career. It's like, I don't know. I feel like Rory could probably benefit from some sort of a change right now.
I don't disagree with that. I just don't know that Liv is his answer. I think Rory's holding very, very fucking strongly on like by his fingernails now at this point that they regroup and rejoin at some point.
Yeah. I think that's the most likely scenario, honestly.
I think it's getting further and further away.
Really?
Yeah.
If there was a chance that there is something going on behind the scenes, and they are
what's stopping
together,
it? Because what's stopping it
from getting back together?
From happening? Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm saying if Rory knew that something else was happening in that merger, and he wanted to protect his reputation to the PGA guys, then he'd have to pretend like he was blindsided, like he did. And if that's what he was doing, he executed it perfectly. But you know what I mean? Like, that could be an act too.
There was a time I thought a lot more of Rory was an act than I do now.
Yeah, and the other part of this too is like, I mean, Rory is Rory, but like, I feel like any amount of money that Liv would be throwing his way would be overpaying for him.
Well, it was $860 million plus a stake in ownership.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
That's money you can't walk away from.
So that's where.
Go ahead,
like Rahm's pretty much every player that they got in the last year is overpaid, in my opinion, for what they're actually worth.
Not Rahm compared to Rory.
Rahm was overpaid for sure. $700 million? $600 million?
If they're throwing more at Rory than that, though, I don't think that's legit.
That's overpaid, though.
Well, maybe. But, I mean, what's
for
money
what it's worth, they're never, ever going to make that money back from having Rahm on that tour.
I'm saying Rory isn't worth more than Rahm.
No, I know. I'm saying nobody is worth what they're throwing at them.
Yeah. So that's a different discussion then. Here's what I will say. Here's what I will say about the Live and PGA. Like everybody who watches the show knows that, I'm not a huge Live guy. I've never been against Live though. I'll watch it. I enjoy the players that play there, but the PGA Tour absolutely dominated the Masters this week. And I think that after last year's performance at the Masters was flipped on that. But this is kind of how I view it right now. It's like we got the PGA, great players there. We got the Live Tour, great players there. They get to play all together in the majors, which is when the majority of the average person watches golf. They're all at the same tournaments. And it almost creates this like Ryder Cup format inside of a major. Like I think it's incredible. Honestly, I really do. And the PGA definitely kicked the shit out of Live this weekend, without a doubt. Like no Live player even had a sniff at winning this weekend.
Yeah.
If I'm in the PGA, I am putting forth a package to promote that.
Like the rivalry?
Yeah.
I think they're crazy not to, honestly. Like they're both playing where they are now, but both sides are somewhat happy, I think, for the players that benefit from it, for sure, both sides of it. And as fans, we get to see like this Ryder Cup Live versus the PGA inside of every major. Like I think it's incredible.
I think the rivalry's kind of died off though already.
Oh, it's not what it was, but it's still like it's there.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Like those guys are playing an exhibition league, man, honestly. And I know you don't think it is, but it is.
I disagree with that for sure.
Amongst the players, I don't think like.
I think that's really far out to lunch to say that it's an exhibition.
I mean, technically it is an exhibition because they're not gaining world golf rankings or anything like that.
Technically, yeah, but technically doesn't mean fuck all.
Well, it's been 1 year since last Masters when they all came and played well, and they've been on that tour for a year, and now they struggled mightily.
Well,
I mean, let's see how they do in the other majors.
No, they didn't.
Let's see how they do in the other majors then. I don't know. Like, I just don't think that a guy who's playing against the PGA fields every week and a guy who's playing a 54-hole event with shotgun starts and wearing shorts and music playing everywhere, I don't think they're on the same focus level anymore. I really don't. That's my opinion.
And that's fair. I agree with that. But to call it an exhibition is a stretch.
Compared to the PGA, it's an exhibition. Like it is. For sure it is. What else is it?
It's just a different format of golf.
That doesn't stress your brain as much as the PGA would. Because there's nothing on the line. They're getting paid anyways. They got the big fat checks.
I disagree.
And there's no ranking points. There's nothing they have to hang on to. Lots of those guys are grandfathered in. Like, I don't know. Crazy.
But no, I would love to see them. What's next? PGA. So I think there's still a few Live guys that'll be coming for that. So I would love to see them be promoting like just Scottie. Bring it on. We got this guy out here. I don't think you guys could beat him in a scramble right now.
Yeah,
it's probably true. Well, I shouldn't say that, but he cleaned up for sure. But I don't know. I mean, it's to me, it's fun. I think that it's good. I don't think there's anything wrong with where the game is right now. Honestly, like everybody's benefit from it.
I don't. I've gone. Sorry, John. I was just gonna say, like, I've gone a bit away from. I think it's okay for the game, where it's not bad.
Yeah,
I think it's terrible for the game now.
You think
at this point now, we've gotten so far down. Yeah, I think we've gotten far enough down the line that there were a lot of people that might have tuned in because of the rivalry. There's some shit going on here. There's chaos. I'm going to tune into chaos and see what the hell's going on here. But nothing has really happened because of the chaos.
No, but I mean, anything that would happen would be created like
those people are going to leave.
Yeah, I don't know.
In other news, I think that the one thing that the PGA has going outside of Scottie Scheffler, first of all, I will say that I'm officially declaring this live on the show tonight. I will never, ever, ever bet against Scottie Scheffler again in my entire life, ever. Under no circumstances. Every bet that I've made in the last 2 years against Scottie Scheffler, I've lost. I've not won one pool. I've not won one bet, and I've bet against Scottie. And Sunday was the final straw for me. I'm done. And he's incredible. Like, he is absolutely incredible at golf, and just as a person too. I'm changing my mentality about Scottie. I'm behind him now. I'm not on the fence anymore. I like Scottie Scheffler. I think he's an amazing guy and good for the game. A second part of that is Ludwig Oberg. He is, I think, the next, and I mean, everybody says the next Tiger Woods, but he is the next best thing to happen to golf by far. He hits a drive better than anybody I've ever seen before. He's one of the best putters out there. He's a very, very likable guy. He's decent looking guy, so the women will be attracted to him. He's going to be the next product in golf, without a doubt. And if you look at I spent some time on the week or earlier in the week looking at his stats. Go take a second and look at that guy's stats, man.
Wild.
Nuts.
It's wild. And so I decided two things. I'm never betting against Scottie, and I'm every weekend from now on, whether it's $5, $10, I'm betting on Oberg to top 10 finish, and I'm going to track all the results for the viewers.
Yeah. The crazy, like, Scottie, wow. He's wild. He's so good. Just when you think he's letting somebody else have a sniff, he just like chucks like 3 absolute pistols at the pin.
Scottie
Misses one of the 3 putts, but still makes 2 birdies.
It's sickening.
And all of a sudden he has a 2-shot lead. But the craziest part about him that I think, and talking about Oberg, he's 24.
Yeah.
Scottie's 28.
Yeah, Scottie's not that old.
He's 28. I thought he'd be like you would think he's like
40.
early 30s to mid 30s.
I also likes bearded Scottie way more than normal
Yeah,
Scottie.
me too. Yeah, he needed to grow the beard. He's a different person. He's so good. Oh god.
So good.
He's maybe a better iron player than Tiger.
Like middle of the year last year, we were like, if this cat figures out how to putt, look out. This is Tiger-esque. And dude learned how to putt.
He's won 3 times this year and hasn't shot over par.
And it looks
He hasn't shot over par this year.
so easy to that man.
Like, he's honestly putting up Tiger.
His wife is massively pregnant, could pop at any second. This guy goes and wrecks the mat, like destroys all the players of the Masters while this is happening. His wife could have called him on the 16th tee box and he would have been out of there.
That would have been worldwide news if something like that happened.
He had a ton of missed short putts too on the weekend.
I didn't even know that was happening. I knew that his wife was pregnant, but I didn't know like that she was that close. I should have been bringing it more into the universe, speaking out loud, because I had money on Oberg at the time, so I was heavily tuned into that. Man, that was exciting. There was like 4 players all tied at like -7 for a while there, and then all of a sudden it's that stretch 10, 11, 12.
Number 11.
It's always that stretch where one guy pulls apart. It seems like it's happened in the last 4 or 5 years.
Wasn't it 2 of them, Colin and put her in the drink?
And Max put it up top on 12.
And so Scottie said, all you got to do is miss right.
Yeah.
I won the golf tournament if I miss right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. You hand it to that iron player? Whew.
That's kind of the unfortunate thing about it's kind of cool that it happens there, but it's kind of shitty that if you're up at that point, it's like pretty much over.
It's over. Like miracles have to happen, but it's basically over.
Yeah, like there's no drama on 17, 18.
No. But last time Scottie won, he 4-putted, remember?
On 18?
Oh, on 18.
Okay, last one I got for around the greens, and we can move on. Some guy figured out He went back to Tiger's 2000 season and did the calculations if he won the same tournaments for what the purse was this year. In the year 2000, he won $10 million. In 2024, he would win $92 million.
Wow.
That speaks solely to Tiger's contribution to the game of golf.
And inflation. Inflation's 2%, though.
It's 2% of 10.
Yeah, that is the Tiger effect, though, honestly. Like it
I was
really.
looking at the Masters purses. The first Masters, I was comparing it to Bitcoin over the weekend, but I was looking at the first Masters purse from 1934, I think it was. Was it 1934? At 88 years. No. So, anyways, the first Masters purse, guess how much it was?
10 grand.
Reggie?
$700.
10 grand.
15 hundo.
What's that in today's?
What do you mean? Like percentage wise?
Nah, I'll see if we can find it. Keep going.
$1,500. And I don't think the green jacket was around then either. So you're winning the Masters, the first ever Masters, and you're taking home a cool 15 hundo. So that was a 10x pretty much, Drummy, from Tigers from 2000 till today. 10x.
It says it's only 26,000 is what it's equivalent to.
I got 35, but yeah.
I put 44. I figured that was 88 years ago.
What are you guys even typing it into?
Google.
What did you type?
What's $15,000 worth in 1932 worth today?
Oh, yeah. Because dollars are still dollars. That's why it hasn't gone up that much. It's reality. It's the reality.
Let's get to the fix your divots.
Let's get to fix your divots. It's a good one tonight. We had quite a few entries, I guess you'd say. I don't know if you'd call it entries, but contributions to the fix your divots tonight. And before we get there, let me bring it up. So when's the next tournament here? When's the PGA? Is it in June or May?
Pretty sure it's in May.
Oh, no yawns. No yawns. In May?
U.S. Open's always around
June, Father's Day.
Father's Day.
Can someone check on when the PGA is while I'm looking for this?
It might be like 3 weeks.
We'll have to do another Sats pool. The winner of the King Sats pool this weekend took home
May 16th.
Yeah.
May 16th?
Mm-hmm.
The winner of the Sats pool this weekend took home a cool 255,000 Sats. Bookmark that for the future. 250,000 Sats. Okay, so let's do fix your divots, then let's hit the road. Reggie's yawning. Reggie's in yawn mode right now.
I yawned once. All right, shoot me.
Shoot me. Okay, so tonight's segment, like every segment of Fix Your Divots, is brought to you by the Prairie Scratch Tour, the premier golf tour outside of the King Golf Highway Tour, which was just announced today. The actual premier golf tour in Manitoba. Shout out to them for sponsoring the segment, being part of the show, being part of the community here. But the purpose of the segment is not to complain or bitch about other people on the golf course, but just to point things out. And maybe there's a chance somehow they'll see this online or otherwise, and they'll stop doing that. So we have to remember that not everybody grew up playing golf. We need to practice some patience, and some golfers simply do not know any better. So the Prairie Scratch Tour, who we're talking about tonight, is back 2024. Schedule includes stops at Southwood for the Spring Classic, which is, I believe, in a month from now. We got Grand Pines, which I've never been to, but I've always wanted to play. They got the Prairie Shootout there. Quarry Oaks, the Summer Showdown. Falcon Lake, the Bison Championship. And the 2024 Tour Championship will be held at the beautiful Breezy Bend. Every event includes 2 divisions, the amateurs and the legends. So if you are somebody who likes golf, wants to play some competitive golf against the best golfers in the province, you can find more information. You can register for an event this summer, prairiescratchtour.ca, or check them out on Instagram at Prairie Scratch Tour. So who wants to read it tonight? It's a good one. Drummy?
Yeah, I can go. So this week's comes from our boy, Steve DeRoche. And this gentleman's father actually is probably one of the sole reasons I graduated high school. He was a teacher who also loved golf, so we bonded over that. Probably the only reason he didn't fail me in multiple of his classes. So shout out to him. But Steve says, big pet peeve is when people don't realize that they are never the one to put the pin back in after finishing a hole. I wonder if Steve is sending a subliminal shot at one of his boys here. But from what I'm gathering is Steve is probably the last person to putt and usually is the only person to put the pin in. It sounds like from his group. Boys, have you ever felt being the only person to put a pin in during a round?
Pretty well every round.
Yeah?
That means I'm usually the guy who's not putting the pin in then.
Yeah, you don't put the
And
pin
maybe
in.
I'm a good mix. Yeah. I don't
George
know.
maybe put the pin in like once last season.
That's what little brothers are for, man.
That's what everybody else on the green except you is for. No, there's I know quite a few people that don't put the pin in. My
Maybe
favorite.
I'm part of the problem then. I don't know
Yeah.
that this was an issue.
It's definitely an issue.
If you don't know about it, then you are the problem. But
That's what this is
I think
for,
the worst part about it is if you're putting, and you're the last guy putting, if you're already done and you don't have any clubs around the green, like just walk over to the pin and pick it up.
Yep.
Have it ready. The guy makes the putt, misses the putt, whatever it is, it's the last putt. Put it in the hole and you guys walk to the cart together. Not the guy putts, and then he has to go grab the flag by himself while everybody else is already at the carts waiting for the guy who just putted.
That's an awkward thing.
That's what he's talking about too.
I think that's the exact scenario that he's laying down here. I think, and that's banana land. That's crazy.
But it happens so much.
You say you're the last person to sink a putt. You got to pick up your ball from the hole and then turn around and pick up the flag from the ground and put it back in.
I will say I never do that. I will say that. I never let it get to that point. I think I'm usually, I wouldn't say usually, but sometimes aware of what's going on. But I'm sure Dad can appreciate this if he's watching still. Sometimes I have 10 other things on my mind at that time. And the last thing I'm thinking about is picking up a pin. Whether it's, the hole, whether that's something with King Golf, whether that's something else going on in my life. I get that trait from Dad for sure. A little bit stunned.
But I think a lot of people have that too. And they still do it. But
Reggie, I need you this year at some point to get him on film for 9 holes, not putting the pin in once.
The absolute best thing.
Video.
It's going to happen.
If Steve's listening, the absolute best line that I've ever heard, and you can use it with being a dick, but without really being a dick, is just ask somebody what the weight of the pin is.
I've heard that before. You've asked me that plenty of times.
So you just say what? Oh yeah, John just put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ask him what the weight of the flag is, and he says, "What do you mean?" You say you haven't lifted the goddamn thing all around, so why don't you lift it and find out? There's a lot of people that are like that, but
okay. So I think that's where I don't like that I'm not clever enough. Where I would just be the blunt asshole and say, "You gonna pick up a fucking pin today or what?"
Mm-hmm.
Instead of coming up with something clever like that, and then I'll be the asshole.
Yeah, they deserve it if they do that. And Jordan, I'm not saying you do it all the time. I really don't.
No, I don't.
Never really noticed
I have before though. Like I've had days where just like my mind's somewhere else, and I usually play poor too when I'm like that. So everybody goes through that, but I'm probably more.
Lots of times.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, like, thinking about it, I don't think about it enough to even know if I do it or not. So that probably suggests that I probably don't do it enough.
Yeah. That's why I really like this one because it's one of the ones where you have to think like, do I put pins in or
Yeah.
not?
It's a good
so
one.
it gets
That's what these segments are for.
love it. 100%.
Lots of guys though, it's when they're playing bad or they're like sulking that as soon as they miss their putt,
Yeah.
then everything's over for them.
Yeah.
So then they're standing on the edge of the green waiting for everybody else to putt, and then they just take off.
That's a bad look.
I've said a couple times too, don't worry, I'll get the pin too. Meaning
Very
that like I'll
unsportsmanlike.
finish the last putt and then go grab the pin and put it in too. It's the worst. It's actually more of a slap in the face when you're playing with somebody on a team, like in a
And
tournament.
they don't get it for you? Yeah.
Yeah, and you putt and miss it, and then they make you grab the pin and put it in. It's like, oh, sorry, buddy.
Unless I would happily do it like on a birdie putt to win the hole, and they like if you're playing in a men's night match and they've already fucked off because they're pissed off. Whew, I'll twirl that bitch around. Yep.
Take it with you like
Drop
Ted
it.
Scott.
Yeah.
Drop it from there even.
That was pretty cool with what Scottie did there. Let Teddy go first. It's Ted Scott, right? That's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drums, right before I cut out there, before my internet dropped there, I heard you say that Steve DeRoche was Donnie DeRoche was the reason you graduated.
Donnie
I
DeRoche
missed the
and
second part of that story. He was our golf
and
coach.
he was our
Me
golf
too.
coach. Legitimately, him and Helgi are the only reason I graduated high school.
Keyboarding class?
Keyboarding class. I had DeRoche for accounting. I remember I remember one year. Remember when Stocks used to have Stockapalooza or Lucapalooza? When his parents would go away to Mexico for a couple of weeks and we'd just have ragers at his house. I had an exam the day after one of the Lucapaloozas. So obviously I didn't go to the exam. And DeRoche just let me write a redo open book exam by myself in the next room and aced it.
Phenomenal. He was good shit. Or he is good shit.
Beautician. Yeah.
Okay, well let's round things out tonight, folks. One thing I want to say before we go is local knowledge coming up. I think the next one we're going to do is going to be Minnedosa, Hundo Years. Get everybody fired up for the golf season when everybody's in a golf mood again. And maybe we'll have Patty come on the show. Next week we'll have to see what's going on because Drummy will be pretty tight to being daddy number 2. Or not daddy number 2, daddy number 1, kid number 2. So we'll have to see. We'll play it by ear. We'll figure something out. But I think the next one is going to be Dosa. And we'll probably reach out to Patty tomorrow and see if he wants to come on. I stopped in at Minnedosa, saw Patty last week, talked about his golf trip. So I think that'd be kind of interesting to chat with about on here as well. So with that, I'm going to say this one more time. If you are somebody, you want to be part of the King Golf Highway Tour, we got 30 spots. I think that they're going to go very fast. And it's a no-brainer. It's not $199 for $430 worth of value, less than 50% of it. And you get to be part of something, a tour. That's what everybody wants. So leading to the Ryder Cup at the end of the year, which will be a blast. And you get ranked throughout the year with your scores, posting on both channels. Just a lot of fun. That's what it's going to be. So send us a message, send us an email, get a hold of us if you want to grab one of those spots. They'll go quick. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Cool. We out. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Another good show. We're out of here for this week. Love you, boys. Later. We'll chat.
See you, boys.
Love you,
next week.
fellas.